Fortran, which yes, it's still useful, believe it or not. Python, very useful. Everyone loves Python. And we're going to talk a little bit about programming in this video. But if you want to learn programming or if you want to learn mathematics, you should do it because you want to learn and for no other reason. Unfortunately, that is not how the world works. For example, if I want pizza, I have to pay money for that pizza, right? And so you need to do something in life that is going to somehow make you money. But I think that sometimes when it comes to learning, it should just be for the sake of learning. And I picked programming for this video for two reasons. One, programming is something that I learned for the sake of learning. I learned how to code in C. I read this entire book almost, and a couple other resources as well, because I was a beginner, right? Before going to college, I learned C. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. This is a beautiful book. It's written by Kernighan and Ritchie. But before we get into the books, let me just go back to that comment because I will forget to mention it. So the comment was basically, I made a video where I talked about a book, a C++ book written by the creator of C++, Bjarne Stroustrup. I think I might have said it more correctly. If I'm saying it wrong, please correct me. It's Bjarne Stroustrup. That is the creator of C++. Anyways, some people were like, oh, you should learn Rust or learn this or C++ is dead. And I'm thinking, no. See, no language is dead. All programming languages have their thing. I mean, I have a great book here, and all the examples are in Lisp. That's right, in Lisp. And you might say, Lisp, why would you use Lisp? Well, because so you can read that book and read what a masterpiece it is. I don't have it here. It's the famous Wizard book. If I remember, I'll leave a link in the description to the Wizard book. I should make a video on that. But in any case, all languages have their merits. There's beauty in all of it, just like there's beauty in all of mathematics. It's just, you can have a preference. It's okay. Some people like Java, some people like C. Assembly is a language. I don't know if they still teach that. Python is very popular nowadays. I'll leave links in the description to all of these books in case you want to check them out. So this one here, now that I've made my rant, let's just talk about these books. So this one here is a book written by the creators of C++, Brian Kernighan and Dennis Ritchie. And I believe this is the first edition. Let me just give it a whiff here, because I made an effort to find this, and I've had other copies of this book. I feel like I have another copy of this book, and I don't know where it is, because I had this book and I lost it. I had this book in the early 2000s. I mean, it's been a while, right? I learned C. I think it's been 2 decades now. Yeah, wow, crazy, right? That's how long it's been since I learned the C programming language. And this book is good. The problem with this book, as a beginner, that I found was that when you are entering the code, just make sure you enter it correctly. Like, you might need to put some other stuff, depending on your compiler, that whatever you're using to compile your code. So step one is to get a compiler and compile your code. And after that, everything is relatively easy. And that statement, I'm not sure if that was from this book. I believe that's from this book. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, maybe it's not this book, but I remember a book saying that. It might be this one. If you've read this book, you'd be like, yeah, that was this book. But really, yeah, it's true. I read that statement, and it's a true statement. Once you compile your first program, after that, it gets easier. So this is a pretty good book. I use this along with a website. It was a FAQ that was compiled from news groups. So that's really old school. That's before my time. And it was an FAQ on an actual website. And by Steve Summit. I don't know if it still exists, but Steve Summit's FAQ in the C programming language. He basically nitpicks the language, goes through it, talks about the syntax and little things that you should watch out for. Really, really, special cases and scenarios just to watch out for. So you read all that and you become pretty good at the actual language. Then you got to start creating programs. That's a whole other thing, right? So I made a video game in C, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Python is another language. This is object-oriented. There's newer versions of this book. This is something that I've had for a while, so it's an older edition. Python's a lot easier. It's more popular. A lot of jobs will ask if you know Python. So from a practical standpoint, you say, well, it's better to learn Python than it is to learn C. I don't know, right? You can make your choices. I always say learn what you want to learn. Remember, it's always better to learn what you want to learn, right? I mean, if you know C, it could be beneficial. I bet there's a lot of people out there who know Python and don't know C. If you're one of those people, leave a comment. I'm curious, what languages do you know and what languages do you prefer? Because it's certainly okay to have a preference, right? And here's Fortran, and I wanted to talk about Fortran because it's still used. You might say, how do I know that? Well, I actually knew a guy who worked at a bank, and he said that the software where he worked, or he worked for banks or something, and he said the software was Fortran. And it was pretty good software that worked really well, and there was no need to really update it, so they were still using it. They would just train new employees on it, and it worked. So if it's not broken, don't fix it, right? And it always costs money to fix it too. So yeah, there's still programs out there written in Fortran that are being used in the world today that are making companies money, which is pretty amazing, right? So that means that those companies might hire people, perhaps. But I haven't seen any jobs that require Fortran. I just know one person. Still, it does have a use. But yeah, here are some cool programming books. So yeah, I think the main takeaway from this video should be that, there are multiple languages out there, and I think that people should learn for the sake of learning, whether it be math or programming. I feel like you learn better. When it's something that you're really passionate about, you learn better. Like when I learned C for the first time, I feel like I learned it really well. I felt like I was a master. I went to college and I was correcting my teacher. It was ridiculous. It was like this. I had like this thing about it. Became obsessed with the C programming language. I think it's a good word. I was obsessed. I was completely obsessed. And this book was good. There was another book on C programming. It's also for beginners. It's much thicker. And I read that entire book as well. So I didn't just use this book. Okay, so I'm not a super genius here. So I needed 2 books and also Steve Summitt's FAQ. I would also frequent some programming forums on the internet, and that's how I heard about C, because I was on the internet and I learned C because of the forums, and I was helping people with like their homework questions and stuff. It was pretty cool. So I'm like, these people are in college. I'm like, oh, so maybe I should go to college, and that's why I went to college. So yeah. I love this stuff. Anyways, I'll leave a link in the description to all these books. If you want to learn math, by the way, I do have courses. Check them out right there on my website, mathsorcerer.com. I've got all kinds of math courses. And subscribe if you want to. Key takeaway is learn what you want to learn, okay? Just learn whatever you want to learn, and I think you will have a better life. Take care.
You can teach yourself way more than you ever thought possible by creating your own university courses. Hey, welcome to Park Notes. I'm Parker Settecase. I'm a graduate student in philosophy, and this is a channel where I help you study and think more deeply. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can teach yourself more than you.
Are you considering a switch to Linux and you're not sure if the time?
No, I'm only on it. Should I be publishing this? Yeah, it should be fine.
What if a little pocket...
Easy S output. Subliminal messaging for study. Wait. Oh wow, it's crazy. Okay, huh? Who ruined YouTube Shorts?
How's it going, guys? Peep is sipping on a cup of Joe here. This is currently Oogway or Master Oogway, depends on how you read it. I think one of the most recommended creators to check out is Speed McQueen. Now, originally I was very hesitant to talk about him. 3.3 million subscribers. Oh my god, I didn't even realize that. Dude, it's only the YouTube Shorts creators, dude. Only the YouTube Shorts creators. I don't know what's up with these guys just having an insane following for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Like, I'll admit, obviously I do read comments. There will be like the occasional YouTube channel that has like over 200,000 subscribers for some reason. I'm just like, yo, what the? Is this a big YouTuber? I check it out. The person's videos can barely hit like 1,000 views, but he consistently posts YouTube Shorts and he somehow has 200,000 subscribers. Like, that's crazy. If I'm being honest with you, I don't think you're even considered famous if you have a huge following because of YouTube Shorts. Like, at this point, it's just so easy to abuse YouTube Shorts just to get a huge following. Alright, I'm done venting. Let's talk about Speed McQueen. Obviously, before I start this video, make sure you like and subscribe for the algorithm, because if I hit 28,000 subscribers by the end of this week, I'm going to drink a Monster Energy. It is literally the best thing ever. You do not want to miss out on the serious plot twist coming up. Alright, let's begin. Alright, I do want to check something out real quick, because when I first opened this page, these big nuts, I saw this. I want to see what the sideboys.co is. Is it like the Sidemen? Anyways, let's check this out real quick. What's the Sideboys? Oh god. Oh, what? I hate to say it, but that's kind of heat. Oh, but then it's ruined by this. That's I don't like that. I would unironically cop a shirt like that. Alright, you know what? If this video hits 2,000 likes, I'm gonna go out of my way to buy Speed McQueen merch. This shirt unironically goes hard. I'm not even joking. And then, bro thinks he's Spider. Bro thinks he's Opium. You're not Opium, Speed McQueen. You make YouTube Shorts. Like, this does not go hard. Got phone cases, probably like drop shipped. Goated desk mat. I don't like these. These are not that hard. What does that say? Oh, it just says chillin'. This is so corny, dude. I'm sorry. This is actually like some of the corniest thing I've ever seen. I don't think anyone's buying this, and I would be genuinely surprised if anyone ever bought this. Like, I'm sorry. So, Speed McQueen, which honestly I was hesitant to make a video about in the first place, mainly because I couldn't really tell what his age was. Ever since this fella right here and the impact he left on YouTube, YouTube has become super strict about talking about anyone who's underage on YouTube. But guys, with full confidence today, I can proudly confirm that this dude is definitely over the age of 18, meaning I'm allowed to talk about him. Alright, so Speedy McQueen, mainly known for his shorts. Okay, if I'm being fully honest with you, he's literally just Master Oogway 2.0. Like, it's literally just edgy joke equals funny, which we gotta agree to disagree. He will release something that's like genuinely a bit funny, but 90% of the time it's literally just this.
You have been warned. There is nowhere to run. You will pay the price. I will take your life.
I'm the same age as this dude, by the way. French teachers when you don't know the gender of a croissant. Like, what does that mean? I literally do. Is that like a political joke? I don't know. I don't like it though. What are the comment sections like? But it's gonna make World War III now. I expect nothing more from Roblox profile pictures, I'm not gonna lie. Wait, does this actually mean anything? I don't know. Someone comment the meaning of this. Like, I'm actually like, I don't know. I'm blanking out. Is this like a joke I'm supposed to understand?
To the window, to the wall, till the sweat drop down my balls, till all these bitches crawl.
Okay, so you're just gonna steal someone's joke entirely, just to put your face over it.
So all this depends on, is it going to get better? And it pretty much is. Why? Well, with ChatGPT, the T stands for transformer, which is a new like neural architecture. This one architecture works for basically all the AI that's happening nowadays. And all you have to do is give it more like energy, more compute, and you just make it bigger, and it just keeps getting better and getting magic powers. And no one really knows why. Like, there's an interview where Sam Altman's saying, yeah, when we get these models and start training them, it's a guess game as to what they're capable of. So at this current point, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We already have a solution. All we need to do is just make it more powerful. So the bottleneck is literally the physical stuff. We'll literally run out of energy and compute for this thing. And so people now are saying, okay, AI stuff, that's cool now, but it's going to stop now. But the thing is, NVIDIA, they released this whole like Blackwell chip.
Over the course of the last 8 years, we've increased computation by 1,000 times. Remember, back in the good old days of Moore's Law, it was 10x every 5 years, 100 times every 10 years. In the heydays of the PC revolution. In the last 8 years, we've gone 1,000 times. We have 2 more years to go.
The scary thing is, Blackwell is a cutting edge of compute, okay? But we're nowhere even close to utilizing that because GPT-4 was trained like way back when. So we have no idea what current levels of compute can do for these AIs. And it's not unreasonable to assume there'll be another paradigm shift that makes it even better. But even if we assume there is zero paradigm shifts, and all we do is super scale the current AI, it's going to get better, and it's probably going to replace even more jobs. And I'm not even
Yeah, the future. Oh, I see. Oh, I see.
So yeah, all this is happening right when Gen Z is about to, like enter the workforce. And it sucks because AI is like empowering the heads, right? The people who already own stuff, because they can just replace all their workers. And now they just make more money. So everyone at the bottom, like us entering the workforce, can just eat shit and die. So now that we understand the situation a little better, we gotta ask ourselves, okay, like what are we supposed to do? And here's the thing, no one knows. And like sure, technically no one knows the future. This has always been the case. But this time, what's different is that no one even pretends to know. Like in the past, it's like people pretend to know when they tell you something, so at least you feel better. Like it's like cope basically. But now I've never seen so many smart, accomplished people just throw up their hands and say, I have no idea. Like people have been wrong one too many times with like, oh, AI isn't going anywhere. Like imagine going to 2020 and telling people about all this AI stuff. They think you're crazy. And the little stuff that these experts do throw around is like the most vague shit ever, like adaptability, resilience, stress tolerance.
What do you think kids should be studying these days?
Resilience, adaptability, a high rate of learning, creativity, certainly familiarity with the tools.
And it's like, yeah, no shit. Like, give me an actual job. Is it time to be a dishwasher? If that's my only option, dude, I'll take it. Like, I'll do anything at this point. But now, like, robotics seems to be going ham. Like, NVIDIA released some new thing for, like, robotics, too. So, like, now what? Do I go to college, like, what everyone tells me? Like, imagine being a doctor, going into, like, $300,000 in debt, and, like, 10 years or whatever of, like, residency and all that stuff for a job that might not even exist. Or what, like, become a software engineer and just hope that this randomly plateaus and AI won't take your job within your lifetime. Or like better yet, join the military and hope AI doesn't replace you so that you can fight in World War III and get shot by drones. Learn diploma and hope robotics doesn't screw you over. The future was so uncertain. These are the cutting edge options like right now. Either you learn to plumb or you like learn to prompt engineer. That's like the new thing right now. Create AI furry prompt and just sell that shit. But obviously those aren't gonna last. So what Gen Z is heading into is in a situation where the previous roadmap just doesn't work. Like in the past, because things just didn't change that much. Like especially hunter-gatherer era, like millions or whatever years of the same exact thing. Even with agriculture, things started to kick up a little bit more change. Bronze Age, Iron Age, stuff like that. Industrial revolutions, things really picked up. But still, the change wasn't nearly as bad. So you had a roadmap of what to do from like your boomer, like your grandparents or whatever. Now it's like, it's all broken. It's just this Wild West clown show of Zoomers getting desperate and trying everything. Like, do I join Hustlers University? Do I do this crypto stuff? Do I do drop shipping? Do I start a YouTube channel, social media influencer? Or like, do I learn to edit so I can help these YouTubers? Do I do real estate? Do I like Looksmax? What like actual career can I do? Right now, how do I even try? Because like the conclusion from my previous video was like, you should try. But then like, what do you do? And so people have thought this too. Obviously take it with a grain of salt.